Good morning everybody, it's Miss Moll here with Thursday's maths lesson today, and we haven't got a warm-up today because I wanted to get you going straight away. So today we are learning to write directions, and this is going to link into our work with fractions today. So first of all, we need to think about left and right hands. So if you do this with your hands, you will be able to check which is your left hand because it makes an L shape. And it's an L that is facing the right way, whereas your right hand doesn't, it's back to front. So you all know which is your left hand and which is your right hand. So can you all give me a wave with your left hand? Well done. And now with your right hand, can you all give me a wave with your right hand this time? Okay, fantastic to everybody who has remembered left and right. Remember, you can do this whenever you need to think about directions. Then something else, some other vocabulary that might be useful today is clockwise and anti-clockwise. So clockwise is when something turns the same way that a hand does on a clock. So it would go this way round. So maybe you could go and have a look at a clock, see it ticking, watch the hand go round, and it goes clockwise. Now anti-clockwise is a word that goes the opposite way round to a clock. So this time, rather than going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it goes backwards. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Counting backwards round the clock. So have a think. Clockwise is going the way round that the hands go on the clock, counting in the right order of the numbers. Anti-clockwise is going backwards. You're counting backwards with your numbers. And then we're going to think about half turns and quarter turns. So we can say whether something is turning half a turn, thinking about going halfway round a shape, or quarter of a turn. And I have borrowed one of the objects from my classroom for this. So if I start off with the line facing upwards, if he turned half a turn, he would have to go from facing this way all the way round to halfway around the circle. So if I pop him here and turn him half a turn, he ends up facing in completely the other direction. Just clear that off there. And this time, if he was doing quarter of a turn, he would start off facing this way, and then he would turn quarter of a turn. So he's only gone round this part of my circle. He hasn't gone halfway round, he's just gone round that quarter. So remember, that's half of a half, your quarter. So we can have half turns that go clockwise or anti-clockwise, or even right or left. So here's my line again. He's gone clockwise because, oh, dearie me, because he's gone halfway round in the same direction as a clock. Imagine that this was your clock and you had your numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. He's gone in the right direction, going the same way as the hand. So he's gone clockwise half a turn. Now we can also go half a turn, but this time anti-clockwise, going backwards round the clock. So he's turned half a turn this way, turning left, turning anti-clockwise. Oh, Miss Moll keeps moving it too close to the screen today. Okay, we can also do the same. So he can be facing this way and he can turn quarter of a turn. So he's gone from facing upwards, he's turned clockwise because he's going the same way as the clock hands, and he has gone quarter of a turn. And this might remind you a little bit of when we're looking at clocks, that we've got our 12 here, and we've got our 3 here, which would be quarter past. So that's where we're seeing lots of links. So if you're being a little bit connected with your work today, we are turning clockwise quarter of a turn. Who can predict? What if I turned anti-clockwise? Where is my line going to end up facing? Well done if you said over this side, pointing, if it was on a clock, to the 9. He started off at the 12, thinking about that clock face. He's turned quarter of a turn, so quarter of an hour, imagine, backwards, going the wrong way, going anti-clockwise or left around the clock. So well done if you predicted that. So let's go through those words again. Left, right, clockwise, going the correct way around the clock, anti-clockwise, going the opposite way round, backwards around the clock. We've got quarter of a turn, half a turn, so quarter of a turn, or quarter of a turn, half a turn, or half a turn. So today, what am I looking for in your work? I'm looking to see if you can include left and right turns. So can you tell me to turn left or right? I can include quarter, half, and maybe even 3/4 turns where you've turned 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And I can include turns and clockwise and anti-clockwise. So maybe rather than using the language left and right, you could use clockwise or anti-clockwise. Now, today's activity, you're going to be helping some of the animals in Tinga Tinga. They need to find their way through a route. It would be really useful if you have some sort of character or object at home to use with today's work. So it could be, you could make something out of plasticine or Play-Doh. Maybe you've got a little Lego creature, because seeing which way they are facing is going to be super helpful. Okay, so pause the video if you want to go and find a little creature to use. Okay, so can you help Elephant get from the watering hole here back to the jungle? But unfortunately, we've got some blocks in the way. He's not allowed to go through those squares. So you need to write a set of instructions to help him. Use the wolf to remind you about what to include in your instructions. So what am I looking for in your work? And you might want to draw it first. So it might be helpful if you figure out which way round he is going to go. You might find more than one way. So I'm going to start off with one possible way. So I think he's going to go down here, across here, and down. That's my route. So he's going to go down here, across here, and down. That's my route. He could go a different way. I've drawn it first to help me, and now I'm going to write the set of instructions. So I've got my character ready, and I'm going to put him on my map. So I'm going to do it like this, so it's a bit like it's being flat on your table. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 squares forward. So I can write 3 squares forward. Okay, so he's gone 1, 2, 3, and he's facing this way at the moment. So he needs to turn, left. So he needs to turn left. Now how far does he have to turn? Is he turning half a turn to face in completely the opposite direction? Or is he going to turn quarter of a turn left? Well done if you said he's going to turn quarter of a turn. So turn, quarter, turn, quarter of a turn left. So he's gone forward 3, he's turned quarter of a turn left. Now where's he going to go? So you can complete my instructions if you'd like to begin with, and then can you find your own route around Tinga Tinga? Now, once you've done this, there is a little challenge on the bottom. Can you create your own grid for one of the other characters to find their way across? Maybe you want to include the jungle and the desert. Maybe you've got the tree and the desert. Maybe you've got the watering hole and the honey tree from the giraffe story. It's up to you. Now, another thing that you could do is set up objects on the carpet at home. If you've got some maybe toy cars that you could do some routes around. Maybe if you're really lucky, you could lay out with some ribbons or with some masking tape a route for your cars to take and write instructions for them with how they can get around the city on the carpet. It's up to you to be as creative as you like with your challenge today, but I'm really looking forward to seeing your instructions, seeing all of those lovely features from my wheel in there. Can I see left and right? Can I see the fractions, quarter, half, and maybe even 3/4 turns? So you've got to give me exactly the right instructions so that I know how to help poor elephant get back to the jungle. So good luck today, Year 2.